Scott's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Hey, Scott, what's up?
How you doing, sir?
Better than we deserve. How can John and I help?
Calling about a lovely mental and heart tug of war on putting myself and my wife and our future first to wipe out my mistakes of debt versus helping my parents, who should be in near retirement but have basically not set a great example, and they don't have their act together at all. So it's been a struggle for me because my wife had no debt coming into our marriage 3 years ago. I do, and it's my responsibility listening to you to get it all taken care of. And then my dad's business failed, and they didn't ask for help. But then I said, hey, let me at least pay your rent this month while you go find work. You need to, keep a roof over your head, Dad, because that's what you taught me my whole life. And now that I'm rolling into 2023, it's like, hey, I did a good thing. I need to go back to focusing on me. Happy wife, happy life. So that's where I'm mentally and emotionally at right now.
Are they still coming to you for money, or you still feel like you need to feed them?
No, they didn't even want that. They said, no, we'll figure it out. We don't want to be a burden. I'm like, you already are. So that was my choice volunteering it. I talked it over with my wife. She said, fine, if that's what you want to do for your Christmas gift, because we're married, she's like, fine, you can give them a month's rent, take care of it. I made them give me their landlord, so I paid them directly. And that was just me because I was losing my mind, and I just didn't want my parents on the street. My younger brother and I have agreed, we told them this over the past 3 years that the business was going to fail, and they didn't listen, so they put themselves here. So there's that tug of war of
Here's the deal, Scott. There is no tug of war. The greatest gift you can give your parents long term is for you to take care of yourself now.
Okay.
And if you continue to fight your wife and her, how long have you been married? 3 years, you said?
Yeah, or late bloomer. I'm at 45, so
that's all right. That's all right. I'm just saying, from a guy who's been married 2 decades, if that's what you want to do, is spouse speak for
stupid.
Wow, I wouldn't do that. All right. So,
and worse than that, she said, "Oh, we'll make that your Christmas gift, just to highlight the fact that I don't agree with it."
So you have played your "I wouldn't do that if I were you" card. 3 years in, congratulations. You spent it earlier than most of us do, but you'd have. The greatest gift you could give your parents long term is to be financially stable on your own, and you're not. You're probably not even close.
I've been religious. I shut down all podcasts the past 3 weeks and just have been catching up as much as possible because I used to listen to a year or two ago, and then I stopped, and now I'm like, it literally flipped the flip and switch in my brain. And I told my wife this. I said, I've not been a good husband. I shouldn't even have debt right now. I was like, I should have had this paid off a year ago. This is ridiculous because she came from a family with intelligence of money. She has no debt.
Hey, listen. That's in your past. Who cares? You're here right now. What are you going to do tomorrow? Listening to a bunch of podcasts is a waste of your time if you're not acting. And you listen to a bunch of podcasts and got all fired up, and then you sent your Christmas money to your parents.
Yeah. Well, I also paid off a line of credit last month and just paid off half the credit card this month because I'm a very successful salesperson.
Good.
So
get after it.
She sees the action.
Get after it. Get yourself out of debt. Get yourself an emergency fund. Get yourself on the road to financial freedom yourself. And then if your parents come to you and say, hey, can you support us? And you sit down with your wife and y'all come up with, here's what our boundaries are and here's what we're able to do so that we don't end up in the same situation. That's a next year after that challenge right now. Right now, you got to get yourself stable.
I love this. Now, how do you get the wife to my wife to, because again, she doesn't have my mistakes. So her point is, well, and I was like, hey, we're in this together. Like, I'm no joke. She's got a good amount of money. And she's like, well, that was mine before the marriage, blah, 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 blah. And I'm fine with that.
No. Then y'all don't have a marriage. Y'all have a business partnership.
That's what it feels like. But I don't want to bring it up. I'm like, am I being a jerk saying that? Like, I'm just trying to approach that in a teamwork responsibility thing. And I'm like, Dave, I was like, if we just tap that one savings account, my mistakes are gone, and then I can just pay you back, pay us back.
No. There's no paying back. There's no paying back. So the old Book of Common Prayer said, unto thee, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, unto thee all my worldly goods I pledge. That was the old marriage vows. We quit doing those type of things a generation or so ago, or 2 generations ago, and that was a mistake, because the proper way to have a high-quality marriage is to share your entire life.
Right.
There's no holdback. And so you're not going to sort of help her if she gets cancer.
Right.
You're not, and, well, you used to smoke, so you're just going to have to deal with that cancer thing on your own. And you're not going to do that. You're going to go, well, I mean, a lady I married used to smoke, and now she's got cancer, and I'm going to take care of her. Richer for poor, in sickness and in health, unto thee all my worldly goods I pledge. And so it's not the money, and it's not paying penance for the past. It's an indication of where the future's going, that we're combining our incomes, we're combining our assets, and we're going to make decisions together from this point forward. And we're going to take into consideration that she has a natural skill or a family skill on money that's above yours, and you've got some catching up to do on that skill, but you need to be sitting down and doing that. If you can't do that, you guys need to sit down with a good marriage counselor, because you currently are operating like roommates relationally. I want to revisit the last call because it is a common thing out there for second marriages and late marriages have more trouble combining their finances than 2 22-year-olds that get married. Because number one, 2 22-year-olds get married usually don't have anything to combine. But the other thing is they're just not there. There's no old dog trying to teach new tricks here. If you were burned in a marriage before, it makes it hard to trust again. And if you if you've lived independent and been responsible and saved up some money, and then you marry someone who has not been independent and has not been responsible and has not saved up any money and is in debt, I can see how you would resent that idea. But the thing I can't get my head around is how that doesn't go with the marriage package. Like, you didn't know you were signing up for this?
You see it in later marriages where
that's what I'm saying.
It's almost a compromise. Like, I just want to spend time with you. I like you. You're hilarious. You bring joy to my life. I want to spend time with you. I'm not going to do business with you, right? And I've got friends, like some of my closest friends in the world. I love them. I'd go to war with them. I ain't hiring them, right? It's kind of like that. When he talked, the whole time I kept thinking, oh, she doesn't trust you. And whether she might love you, but she does not trust how you do business or handle money. Not
in an integrity way, but she doesn't trust his
make good choices.
Financial, emotional maturity.
That's right.
And giving money to the parents, who were also irresponsible.
Correct.
Added to her suspicions.
Out of guilt and all that.
Well, I mean, she's like, this guy's not trustworthy. He does stupid butt stuff.
Yes.
And that's what's running through her head. Right. But there's a thing here that has to happen. In order to have the highest probability of becoming very wealthy, you've got to work together and combine.
Right.
All the data tells us that. In order to have a high-quality marriage, you cannot operate 2 separate balance sheets.
Right.
It just does not lend us. Where your treasure is, your heart is also. And when you combine your finances, you're essentially combining your life. You're combining your future. You're combining your dreams. You're combining your fears. And not doing that is sort of like, I'm going to just walk around an ankle deep in the pool of marriage. I'm not going to get in the deep water.
It's just like going up to bat and you're only putting one hand on the baseball bat when you try to swing it with one arm. You're just not going to be effective.
That's a good one.
Right? You're not going to be effective. And I think in this situation, it's a both and. He needs to admit,
yes,
the way I've done it doesn't work. So we're going to follow a unified plan, and I will commit to it. And he said, I'm a great salesman. He is. He's one of those.
He sells himself.
That's right.
A great salesman. I'm a great salesman. And one of the things I suffered with, most of us that are great salesmen suffer with this, we think we can out-earn our stupidity. And we're just going to make some more money, because making money is easy.
Yeah. But it's another scheme, another idea, another thing.
It's the way to fix this is I'll just make more money. And because I can always go do that. And, I still have to watch myself on that after even teaching this for 30 years.
Yeah.
I can just fix this. I'll just go make some more money, because I've always been able to make money. But, and up until I was 28 years old, I couldn't keep it at all.
Yeah, I can get it. It's like you had a hole in your live well, man. You could catch a lot of fish. They just went right out the back of the boat.
Yeah, and we're shocked that when we open the thing up, there's nothing in there. We caught a bunch of fish. Where did they go?
Where'd they go?
Yeah, it's like the whole thing's just emptying out. So, yeah, I think, but it's the note is to those of you that are married late, especially, or second marriages especially, or are considering that, you need to make this part of the deal. Not because Ramsey said so, but because it's best for your relationship and it increases your probability of wealth building. You're going to have a higher quality situation all the way around when the dude, in this case, becomes trustworthy, worthy of trust, because his actions are honorable and responsible and mature, and she quits treating him like a petulant little kid who is messed up, and I'm going to withhold my checkbook from this marriage.
Right. And that's going to require both people usually to learn a new skill, which is how to have a hard conversation.
Yeah.
How to tell each other, I don't know how to do this. I'm not comfortable with you taking care of the money. Like, instead of going, if that's what you want to do and that's your Christmas present.
Yeah, that was very motherly.
Yeah,
not very
that
wifey.
was very like Aunt Susan-y.
Yeah,
right?
that was not wifey. That was motherly.
Yeah.
That was like, you're an idiot little boy. Just go ahead. You're going to make a mess.
You spend all your mowing money on Mountain Dew.
That's
feel free
how
to
you want to
do
do it. Yeah, that's what that was. I've heard that tone a time or two myself. So
I literally hear that on a weekly basis at my house. And it's justified. It's justified.